Why don't you start by giving us a little bit of background on how you got started in the product space and what kind of led you towards the RotoQ and the barbecue specific area?
I grew up in New York, and so you always had the hustle mentality and graduated, worked for a couple jobs. I was at MTV as a sales, and then I did a couple other jobs in between. And so it was 2008, and Beijing Olympics was happening. That's when Asia was kind of, there was some type of rush excitement about Asia, and being grew up in New York, so I wanted to kind of go back and to see what was out there. And my mother, our family business is actually in the manufacturing space. And it was from there, 2009 and on, that I would kind of delve into the world of manufacturing. Everyday folks, you see the product kind of, and you're sitting in the store on the shelf. I got to see it at ground zero when things were just apart and people putting it together. So it's happened that we were in the houseware space. We're helping manufacturing blenders, power cookers, and just a whole array of things that would go into the kitchen. How Rotisserie 360 came about was actually the love, my mother's love of rotisserie chicken. That's how it kind of came about. Because whenever she used to visit in the U.S., the first thing that she would want to stop by is a Boston Market. We recently we got on a chance to get on a show, and we had to look back I had to gather information to submit. And little did I know, it was in March when we were doing the Chicago Houseware Show. There we were sitting inside of a Boston Market eating. So till this day, from then to now, that's one thing that never changed, her love for rotisserie chicken. The background that whenever we see, whether it's food or anything that type of related, the mind kind of gets going. Be like, okay, maybe this could be done, maybe that could be done. And that's kind of how we wanted to make rotisserie chicken at home and not having to purchase, I guess, another countertop product that would take up space. Here's another pressure cooker. Here's a air fryer. Here's a convection. So we wanted to use something that every home already has, which was the oven in your kitchen. So that's how it all kind of started. The love for rotisserie chicken and the oven in every home in America.
So how did you come up with the concept of having it be non-electric, just nothing to plug in? And I mean, was that a hard process to get that? And how long does it actually spin for before you have to reset it? Like if you have a 3-pound chicken on there, how long will it actually spin before you have to reset it and wind it up again?
My mother, that was her thought initially. Like, okay, we just make it a non-electric, so it spins in there.
Just do it, son. Just do it.
Yeah. We tested many different avenues. We were thinking, okay, to have it set in there, but then maybe have a connecting battery that's outside or somehow, but that kind of defeat the purpose. We had to test the idea of whether non-electric was possible or not. First concept drawing was actually 2016. So that was the first time one of us put it down on paper. It was very simple. It was just kind of like triangles and a circle, indicating that it will spin. We utilized our friends who had knowledge of kind of making mock-ups. Basically, they just welded. We had a steel plate and then welded 2 triangles and made a hole and had a rod going through in between. And towards the end of it, we used the classic AA, those alarm clocks. And basically, we just took out the mechanism inside. It had a little very cute spring inside. And basically, it actually spun. So we were like, okay, it's possible without electricity that this thing goes. So to answer your question, 60 minutes and 40 turns, and that will give you an hour of rotation. And that process, from the first drawing to us launching it, actually making it possibility introduced to the world, was 2020 May. So it took 4 years. There were a couple of challenges. First challenge, the biggest hurdle was get it working. Have it, battle tested, make sure this thing works and it serves a purpose. So we did that. The next thing was actually turned out to be even more challenging, which was, announce it to the world, present it to the world. How do you do that in the world today?
Talk about the Kickstarter experience, because that's really how you raise funds to get it off the ground, correct?
Kickstarter, it is a wonderful platform. It's a platform, it kind of gathers like-minded folks because on Kickstarter, this is a more of a forward-thinking process. You're buying into the potential of this thing existing. At the same time, you're allowing the creator, the entrepreneur, the opportunity to make it happen before it actually is marketed or sold in a large retailer or on Amazon. So it creates a community situation where now looking back, that was such a crucial process in the launch of RotoQ 360 because through the sharing, the feedbacks, the questions, it helps to refine our product, to better it, to think of things that we did not think of. Until it's in the hands of strangers or other folks seeing it, it's not 100% because everybody will have a different aspect, and it's you will want to share it to the world, to different audiences, so you could gain different feedbacks and be like, okay, this could be better, and just intaking, what could be constructive to the overall of your product, the final product is. And no, we loved every aspect of it.
How much were you able to raise with Kickstarter, and then what did you do with that money to propel the success of your business?
Kickstarter, it was during COVID, and people were cooking at home. So basically, no, it worked out. Everything worked out for us. We have 4,440 backers, and we raised over 440,000 roughly. No, that gave us a jump start into the tooling, which is expensive, which is actually the tools that are able to stamp all these parts to make it so that we can manufacture on a mass scale. And so that's what Kickstarter campaign did. It helped us manufacture the product, bring it actually to life, and that with the product that we're also able to place the order to all the backers that then we're able to ship. And we're also super proud of the fact that with the campaign that we shipped to over 75 different countries. So that's another benefit of Kickstarter. You have global reach. You get eyeballs from all over the world onto what your product could potentially be. So to answer your question, yes, 4,000 backers, 400,000, and shipped over 75 countries.
What was the initial order that you placed? Like, how many units did you make initially?
I think we placed maybe 5,000 orders. If there were no Kickstarters, just imagine you have a product, you have an idea, it's not even tooled. Where are you going to sell 4,000, units at one time? Yeah, so that's what the crowdfunding, that's what internet, that's what the world today allow people, everyday folks, you and I, the ability to make things come from your dream to a reality. That's what really a drawing from 2016 on a piece of paper to 2020 that we're able to launch and have backers believe that this product solves a problem, or it enables more possibilities when it comes to grilling outdoors, in the kitchen. So overall it was a great experience. You can also use it as a resume, so that once you gain any type of notoriety or any type of publicity from that platform, there are many other platforms. So from there, we were able to launch a crowdfunding platform in Korea, a crowdfunding platform in Japan, and then another crowdfunding platform in Taiwan. So we were actually really global, international.
What's your biggest market? Is it U.S. or is it other countries?
Definitely USA. This is the home of grilling, barbecue, rotisserie chicken. This definitely U.S.
Going back to the big picture, so you got your money, you got your product made. Now, what is the strategy for selling those 500, besides the 4,000 units that are sold through Kickstarter? What is your next step of where are you launching this product? Is it online? Is it Amazon only? What is the very next step direct to consumer, I'm assuming, at some point through your website, but where are you really getting action next?
From 2020, May, we launched, and about, I would say, end of 2020, that was kind of that to Kickstarter to a wrap. And the next step was actually fulfilling the pledges. And COVID was very challenging time, so that process actually held up a lot of things.
As far as the manufacturing goes and distribution, or
Manufacturing, distribution, how do we, the world was shut down. How could we ship? A lot of things were cut off in terms of even shipping. Shipping became extremely expensive on all fronts. So that's kind of a little bit better backstory for 2020. So we struggled actually for a little while.
but generally speaking, the orders were good during COVID, or because like people are at home. I know a lot of sales for in the barbecue market actually went high in 2020, 2021 because people had to stay at home and cook at home.
That was the Kickstarter, and then because everything became very expensive, so we were actually dealing with challenges how to make things, I would say, kind of profitable, and how do we keep this engine running. We listed on Amazon, but Amazon is such this ginormous ecosystem. It's almost like the jungle. There's so many things in there. Just because you're listed on Amazon, same thing with music. Just because you're on Spotify, just because you have a video or something on social media, doesn't mean the world's gonna see it. So that was kind of the challenge. Last year we went to our thinking was also, again, maybe let's go to the large retailers. So we went to Chicago, and there is it's called the Houseware Show, and that's kind of a lot of big brands, smaller brands are also there. Your everyday Keurig, your Hamilton Beach, your Cuisinart, they're there. And at the same time, you have little guys like ourselves that we were there, hoping a large retailer, whether it's your Costco or even a mail order, Hammaker Schlammer. They were, you're hoping that with your product that they would then bite into it and, hopefully give you a large order. There were a lot of potentials, but at the end of the day, what we realized was that getting to a retailer or having them stock your product is one thing, but once you're there, if nobody purchases, it's still a dud. So that's kind of when we realized you need presence, you need to market, and in 2020, in the 2024, the world today is definitely social media, and we did not fully understand or know the power of the influence of social media until we actually really put our foot down and kind of start just really dialing in and tackling it, and then reaching out to creators and just creating interaction with the community really online. Folks that cooks, folks that have interesting stuff, people that might be interested in working with it. That's kind of what really also took us to the next phase, which is kind of creating the brand awareness and hopefully creating a demand. And so I think traditionally, when you have a product, you go into retail and then people buy, but now our strategy is we came out the gate on ourselves, kind of promoting it, and then because how unique the product is, it actually, after a little bit, it actually went viral on its own.